Can we complete the 1 tower chimp challenge? And that wasn't a mistake. It's actually chimp, not chimps, because there's a small caveat to this challenge. So let me buy the engine and let me tell you guys what this whole thing is about. So what we're going to try and do today is we're going to try and beat chimps mode. Well, actually it's going to be chimp mode, but we only are allowed to have 1 tower on screen at a time, and that's it. So if we want to buy a new tower, we're going to have to sell this thing. And the problem with selling stuff is that when you sell things, you only sell it for 70% of what you bought it for. So basically we're selling this engine for $300, but we spent $430 on it, and you have to be very careful on how you do this thing. Now, first off, there is this achievement that's called 1 for 1, and actually it's not, it's called like all for 1 and 1 for 1, and that's an achievement in which you need to beat hard difficulty by only having 1 tower on screen. And actually SJB was the creator that I first saw do this thing on chimps mode, so I thought, wow, that's actually a very cool idea and I want to try it myself. So we're going to be doing that thing, and hopefully we can also beat the challenge, because he won, he actually beat it. So let's see how we're going to do on this one. You know what, looking at these rounds, I regret buying the faster engineering a little bit. I mean, do we really need this extra century? Because we're getting like, I think we're getting like 2 to 3 centuries, and now we're getting like 4 to 5. I'm not sure that was worth it. The pin for sure, yeah, the pin 100%, but this extra one, I don't know. I mean, I say that, and look at this thing. We have pink balloons, so so it actually was a good idea to buy the faster engineering. Look at that. I mean, I still don't want to buy the double gun. I stand by that one, so we're gonna chill for a second and let's see how we do onto these next few rounds, because it's only 21, 22, and 23. Let's just pop this blue balloon, and boom, there we go. So we have 4.4k, but the next tower that I want to get is actually the Millipede boat. So let's do it like this, and we have to go for the bottom path. And now the cool thing about this tower is that it can beat all types of balloons. Like this single tower, especially when you get to the monkey pirates, it can pop every single type of balloon, and that's very important because look at this thing. Purples, we're gonna have lead balloons in 28. We're gonna have camo balloons on starting from 33 and then onwards, and then we're also going to have camo purple. So it's basically all types of balloons in this thing can handle it. So this is a very good tower actually. And as this thing is popping the balloons, let me tell you guys about what I've been doing these past few days. So I am on a mission, and the mission is to beat as many half cash maps as possible. Let me actually, you know what, if I have this thing to last, it's gonna target there. No, let's go back first so we can snipe these guys. Yeah, that might not be the thing. So I was thinking maybe you can attack both sides, but I don't want to risk it because there was, oh, we have the money for the monkey prize. What am I doing? Let me just buy this thing, because I was gonna buy this thing anyway. So let's just buy this thing and let's not worry about these next rounds. But what I'm doing these past few days is I'm trying to beat as many half cash maps as possible. Actually, I'm kind of trying to clear, because before you reach a half cash map, you have to clear a couple of difficulties. And that's what I've been trying to do, because I want to do one last video for this year, and that video is going to be just cleaning out every single half cash map that I have left. And I checked the numbers, and I'm currently sitting at 66 out of 71 half cash maps beaten in the whole game. There are a total of 71 maps in the game, and I've beaten 66 of them on half cash. So I'm missing 5 of them. And so what I want to do is, that's going to be in a few days from now, at least from the time that this video is getting released. I want to clear out as many of them as possible, and I do want to leave only one, and I'm gonna have the last one for the video. And yeah, that's the idea. So I want to do the last half cash video with you guys, and then after that I'm not gonna have any half cash maps left. And this is actually inspired by a Reddit post. I saw someone was like they wrote, I think it was like an all caps post, and they were like, you know, I don't care about black borders. I only care about half cash maps. I don't have to do them anymore. So I thought, you know what, that's a very cool idea. Like, after I'm done with that one, I'm not gonna have to do any half cash anymore. Well, not anymore, but you know what I mean. At least until the next update rolls out or something like that, and then we're gonna have to do it all over again. But hopefully they're not gonna be putting any more expert maps anytime soon, because those are just the worst. And I'm probably gonna leave an extra map for last. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know which one is it gonna be, but I'm just gonna leave an extra map, and I think it's gonna make it super fun. And look at this thing, lead balloons, doesn't matter. Fortified ceramics, actually fortified ceramics. I'm gonna need the cannonballs to be hitting these ceramics, otherwise it's not gonna work. And then after this one, we're gonna have normal ceramics, but a lot more of them. I think that, you know what, we're gonna survive this one, but I think the most interesting round for this specific tower is going to be 49, just because there's gonna be like a lot of ceramics, and then there's gonna be small balloons. So these cannonballs actually might start missing. Oh, that was That was a huge blast, by the way. So maybe we're gonna have to do some micro 49. Maybe we set it to last or something like that. Okay, the money's going super well for now. So if we beat 49 plus, I guess, plus 50, we are gonna have the money for a Power Lord. But let's just see what happens versus these ceramics. So I was kind of thinking of having it on last, and then it's gonna attack here, but then it's also gonna attack the right side. So let's see if that thing actually works. Oh, there we go. It actually worked. I mean, this cannonball is kind of missing, but that totally worked. That's very good. Let's move it back to first because I see, yeah, I was gonna say I see a ceramic, but yeah, just a cannonball landed on it. That was fine. But let's see how we do versus the regrows now, because as long as nothing regrows, we're gonna be completely fine on this round. And it looks like, oh my god, that's not even close. Okay, more ceramics on this one, and then if we beat this round, then we're gonna have the Pirate Lord, and then we're actually gonna have a little bit of breathing room until at least until the next hour, which I don't know when that's gonna be. So I'm just gonna leave it on first for now, and I think that's gonna be fine. And then this thing is able to beat mobs by itself, right, with the auto attacks, I think. Let's just watch out. There we go, and that's the money for a Power Lord, and there we go. So I'm kind of trying to avoid the towers that SJB was using. He used Sada to begin with, and then he moved into the Rocket Storm, I think it was. And then after the Rocket Storm, I think he bought the Crossbow Master and then into the Ray of Doom. So those are actually very nice towers, which obviously defend all types of Bloons. And I was thinking of getting Corvus. Now the thing with Corvus is that he's a hero that doesn't require money. People usually compare Corvus with Geraldo, and the difference between Corvus and Geraldo is the fact that, let me just keep hooking these Bloons, but Geraldo requires money. He has a lot of items, but those items require money, and Corvus' spells, they don't require any money, which makes Corvus very good for half cash, actually, if you guys have not noticed that one. So we might be using, you know, I was talking about, you know, this half cash thingy that I want to do. I might use Corvus on that thing. I'm not decided yet. But I did kind of think about using Corvus, and then I was like, listen, Corvus, you know, Corvus almost completes a 1 tower chimps. When I say almost, it's just because, you know, you can't buy Corvus right out of the get-go in chimps mode. That's the only reason why he cannot 1 tower chimps mode. But if you give yourself some extra cash, then he can't. So if we get Corvus in this thing, he might make things a little bit, you know, too easy. So I was like, you know what, let's just not use heroes in general. So we're gonna try and do it with towers only. 65,000 pops on the dot. How often do you see that? Around 60. Both even numbers. I love that stuff. Let's hook this one, and then let's just chill for the next few rounds. I think, especially, I'm kind of interested in what's gonna happen around 63. But given the amount of damage that this thing does, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna one-shot the ceramics. But we're gonna have to see in a second. So I'm gonna pop these mobs normally, and then when the 45 ones come out, I'm gonna use the hook onto them. So we're gonna have 2 of them at the end. So now, and I'm just gonna use the hook for both of these guys, and that should be fine. And round 63 incoming. Okay, so the money is going very well, guys. We have 25,000 with the Power Lord, and then 21 over here. Let me watch just what happens with these ceramic waves. This is actually not the preferred upgrade. You want to go for the 250. Oh my god, this just deletes everything. Okay, that's very good. But you actually want to have this guy's the 250, but because we don't have any camo detection, obviously we have to go for the bottom pad. But it does kind of make this tower a little bit weaker, because you don't get the extra projectiles and you don't get the extra attack speed. Oh, and by the way, I mentioned the all for one and 1 for 1 achievement at the start, and if you guys have not done that one, I mean, this is the way to do it. Honestly, I mean, just look at what I'm doing, and you guys are gonna be fine. And I also limited the towers that you can have to 1, just so that I don't accidentally buy something. So this is exactly 1 tower, but it's round 75 incoming actually, and this is the round that I'm kind of interested in what's gonna be happening. So how do we do with these abilities? I think I'm just gonna keep using the hook off cooldown, honestly, just because I don't want to get caught off guard with these blimps. So it's gonna be able to pump these mobs by itself, and then there's a lot of BFBs beneath this thing, so hopefully the pierce doesn't get over. Oh my god, they're starting to pop. So I'm spamming the hook. There we go. And yeah, it's gonna be fine. So let's see what happens in 76. A bunch of regrow ceramics. You know that we can deal with ceramics, no problem. But if they start regrowing even a little bit, I think that might be an issue. But they're not gonna regrow, are they? No. This thing does way too much damage. Come on, dude. I think if I remember correctly, the grapes actually become so strong. The grapes are actually the ones one-shotting the ceramic Bloons, believe it or not. I think that's how it worked. The grapes are one-shotting ceramic Bloons. That's just insane. And that was the last of the regrow rainbow, so I can just use this ability, pull all of these BFBs, and now we just have the ZOMG, which I'm gonna pull the ZOMG, and then after this, we're gonna have to sell the Pirate Lord. Actually, I think it's gonna lose on 81, or do we want to try it? I think it's... I'm not actually sure, but we do have the money for the next tower that I want to buy, so I'm going to sell this thing. And the next tower is going to be the Dark Champion, which is... It's a tower that should be able to hold on at least, I don't know, maybe like the mid-90s, because I know that we're going to have to do some micro with this thing. It's obviously going to do very well versus these early rounds, but then eventually we're going to have to keep microing it and teleporting it. So that is kind of that's something that I've kind of might have planned for. So let's see how we do versus these first few rounds. I think it's going to be chill, but usually when you buy this tower, you kind of want to have an atmosphere, right? You want to have a village, and we're not going to have any of those things, but it did get a couple of nice buffs in the last few updates. I guess it's not a recent one, but it's in the last few updates, I guess you can say. And the first one is that the price got reduced, and now it's actually, how much does this come out to be on hard mode? It's 60,000, but I think on medium it's 55,555. So just a bunch of fives. It's 5 fives, I think, on medium mode. And then the next thing is this little bounce that it does. You guys see that? That's actually a little bit of a seeking projectile, if you can call it. So it keeps bouncing between the nearest balloons, and this improves its consistency a little bit, and I think that's very important. Okay, so we have the ZMGs. Do we need to micro it with this thing? Let's just kind of chill for a second. I think that it's going to do well versus the first ZOMGs, but yeah, look at that. So it's starting to struggle with ceramics. So this is the thing that I was worried about, especially on these rounds that are going to have a lot of RB. This thing is definitely going to struggle. So we are going to probably need to sell this thing for around, like, I don't know, maybe like 94, 96, those ones, 98 for sure. So we're definitely going to have to sell this one, but when are we selling it? I don't know. So let me actually try and teleport it back, honestly. Oh my god, it popped everything. Okay, I can't have it in the middle, can I? Oh my god, that was a very bad spot. I need the teleport to come off as soon as possible. That was a very bad teleport. I should be either teleporting in the middle or maybe like here. I think that's going to be a good spot, but let's bring it back because we defended. Yeah, so it's going to be basically this spot, and then when they make it back, I guess it's going to attack again. But this here at the bottom where my mouse is, that's going to be the second best spot for this tower. And I think that we're just going to be teleporting between those guys. But yeah, definitely these ceramics are definitely becoming a problem, it seems like. 40 fights, and especially the 40 fight ceramics. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. Especially in the late 90s when these things are coming out. But I did want to buy this tower specifically for this. DDTs. It does a lot of damage by itself, but it does actually a little bit of extra damage versus camo balloons. And it's very nice because the knockback works on them as well. But it definitely struggles versus huge waves of balloons like this one. So this one is actually gonna leak a little bit, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. So these ceramics are gonna leak, but they're gonna make it back, and so hopefully this is gonna be enough. I'm just gonna have the teleport ready like this, and then I hope that we don't have to use it. I think it's gonna be fine on this specific round. Yeah, there we go. 92, a bunch of balloons, and again, it's leaking. We need to stop these leaks. Well, actually, we can't stop the leaks, but we can probably just keep teleporting it and eventually just sell it for something else. So I really hope that this thing, I want to keep it up until 95. That's my goal for now, because I know for a fact that this thing can deal with DDTs. It just pops them so easily. Just look at this thing. Yes, look at that. I mean, I know the one. Okay, I know the one made it, but it just pops them. It's very good versus DDTs, trust me. But I do want to keep it up until 95. And after 95, I think that I would be fine selling this thing. And then maybe oh my god, what do? Do we buy it? Do we rebuy it on 99 or something like that? How does it do versus 45? This is going to be an important round, by the way, because if it survives this specific round, I think I'm going to have to micro it back. Okay, so let's just chill. I need to be patient on this one. That's the most important thing. Let's just chill. Let's just have patience. It's going to start popping the ZMGs, which I do not want it doing, so I'm going to teleport it back now. And then hopefully it's going to deal with the... Yes, I think it's going to deal with the mobs just like that. Okay, so we have to kind of spread out the damage. So that's very good. So it's going to start popping the BFBs now. And then we have one more teleport up top if we want to do it. So I think we actually do want to do it. Yeah, let's move it like that. And now this is going to be a very important round. I'm going to need the teleport up. And this is probably the most important round, because if we survive this round, then I think we're going to be fine. We do have the money to buy whatever we want, but this is just going to be if a single tower is going to defend, right? So look at that. This is exactly what I was talking about. This thing is destroying DDTs. It doesn't even care. I mean, there are going to be a lot of DDTs and a lot of 45 balloons, just don't get me wrong. But this is doing amazing versus them. Look at this tower. I love this thing, especially with the bounces. The bounces just make it do so much extra damage. It's insane. So I'm going to keep it attacking like that. And then if it starts leaking towards the bottom side, then I'm going to teleport it. But it looks like, yep, it absolutely destroyed 95. This is exactly why I wanted to keep it. Okay, so I'm going to give this thing one last round. This is going to be 96, although we're going to have a bunch of 45 mobs on this one. If we somehow manage to beat this round, then that's going to be super cool. But I am going to sell it after this one, I'm going to be honest. Like, this is going to be its last round, then we're going to buy a new one. So I think, what do? I'm just gonna stay patient. Nope, patience is not a virtue for this one. I just hope it defeats these 45 Moabs. I mean, it defeated the 45 ones and then it's the normal ones. But yeah, it defeated them. Okay, so huge wave of BFBs and then a lot of ZOMGs behind them. A lot of RB into these ZOMGs. So it's going to take care of the BFBs, no problem. And I'm going to keep it like this for a second. And I do want to spread the damage between these ZOMGs. So I think I'm just going to pop like... I just hope that they don't pop together. That's my main concern. But they're going to pop together, aren't they? Okay, so target... Yeah, target the small ones just like that. And then I'm going to move you back. Oh my god, the ZOMG's popped in the back. That's fine. But I'm going to move it. And then I hope it survives. Oh my god, it didn't. Okay, what am I doing? Like, I have $75,000 and I'm just trying to pop a couple of ZOMGs with a single tower. And that's, you know, that's not a problem that I'm trying to do them with a single tower. It's just, the problem is that I'm trying to do it with the same tower. And we don't have to do it like that. We can just get like a pirate lore or something like that. We can deal with the ZOMGs. What am I doing? Okay, so let's just pop these guys. I'm just gonna get like a trap or something like that. That's gonna be fine with this round. I just spent like 10 minutes on this thing for absolutely no reason. So let me just sell it. Let me get the trap. The trap is, by the way, gonna eat up the ZOMGs on 97 as well. So that's gonna be super chill. This whole time, I was trying to beat it with a Dark Champion. I could have just bought a trap for these ZOMGs and, you know, we could just have this thing happen. And that's gonna be the entire round, I think. Wait, let me not jinx it, actually. Let's just move it like that. And then the last one, kind of like this, just to be safe. And there it is. That's 96. This is going to be 97 just taken care of in a second. Because that's how the trap works. But this is probably going to be one of the most difficult rounds, especially if I'm using the trap. So let's do it like this. I just needed to just get activated off on cooldown, basically. So as soon as it drops, I just needed to get activated so we are basically using up the maximum amount of RB that we can with the time that we have. So let's do it like that. And then if I have it like this, is it gonna get some of those guys? Yes, very good, very good. Okay, so let's have it. I mean, I don't know, like, is that even a good spot? Probably not. Let's have it like this. Actually, that's still not a good spot, is it? Are things gonna go in? Yeah, things are actually going in. So let's have it like this now. Is this gonna be fine? Is this thing gonna be able to beat the entire 98? I really hope it is. That's gonna be so funny if it beats an entire round like this. I mean, this is a long map to be fair, but there are a lot of ZOMGs at the back. So all the BFBs... No, actually, that's not all the BFBs. I think now that was all the BFBs gone. And now just a couple of ZOMGs. It's one trap per ZOMG, so I don't know how many are there. Is this the last one? Did this guy actually... Yep. Oh my god. It actually beat the entire round 98. That's so funny. But we need to sell this guy. So we're going to get the Dark Champion again because that thing, as we saw, it destroys DDTs. And I hope that it's going to do well versus these 45 ones as well. Yeah, so it seems to be popping them. I do have the Dark Shift ready. And some of them might... Yeah, some of them are leaking. So let's just teleport it back. And that's going to be around 99. And for the last round, I think... You know what? I think I'm... Oh, that's the wrong one. Nope. I wanted to use this one. I wanted to get the preemptive strike because this is the way that you usually do it. So you just use 3 missiles. And then these missiles, they go through layers. So eventually in the third one, you're just going to be able to basically not have to deal with any of the insights. So let's just make sure we don't mess up the timing on this one because the timing is kind of important. If you use it too early, then you're going to have a lot of balloons come out. So maybe at like, what? There's actually a quest for this thing if you guys have played this quest. But I think at about like, what, 25,000 pops, we're going to use the ability. So let's just chill for a second. And as soon as it comes off cooldown, let me use it. And bam, there we go. We actually did it. That was the 1 Tower Chimp challenge done. And it was a fun one, especially with these kind of late game rounds. Those are the ones that are actually challenging. But you know what? If you get the good towers and if you're playing on a longer map like this, it's probably not going to be that difficult. But it was fun. It's actually kind of a little bit of a different take on how you're playing Chimps mode. That was a fun one. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. And there's going to be one more video to end this year off. And I hope to see you in that one. But that's going to be it for this one. I'll see you guys in the next.